I give you a warm greetings, fellow dreamers. Welcome to episode 7 of Dream of the Week, which I call Crystal Trilogy. This one is about 3 dreams, all intertwined with one another, following each other, and all having the same theme. Now, let's get to the dream.
In the first dream, I am in my old bedroom in my parents' home. Yet here I have a skylight in the ceiling. I look up to see a blue sky. It is broken by a wide rift that reveals a starscape beyond. I take out my cell phone and find that I can look into this rift and change the angle of my vision to reveal a strange realm within, filled with enormous crystals of all varieties. Viewing this sight, I get a feeling of the profound and alien mysteries beyond this world. Afterwards, however, I speak to a group of scientific skeptics that refuse to accept the reality of what I just saw, despite the evidence on my phone. We go to the next dream, where I'm in a similar bedroom, but my perspective has shifted to that of a young boy. As the boy, I also see the rift in the sky and the crystalline realms beyond, yet I find that as I observe it more and more, the rift opens up and gravity is reversed as I am sucked into this other world, filled with titanic crystal growths and structures, and inhabited by monsters of similar construction, who attempt to assault me as I dodge around them and make my way out of the crystal world. This occurs several times before the dream ends and involves several people. Following this, the dream shifts into another scene. This one presented as a TV show about a young family living in a new home, 2 parents and a child. The child's room on the upper floor is haunted by a crystalline monster that appears and bothers the boy. The parents do not know what to do about it. The mother considers saying a prayer for him, but gets out her copy of the TV show's script, which says that both her and the father are atheists or agnostics. They consult with various other characters in the dream, including a cartoony version of Adam Sandler, whose advice they quickly dismiss, before finally deciding that they will convert to Taoism or paganism. They set up a small shrine in the boy's room, which causes the crystal monster to become friendly. I then see that the room has been converted into a store of a sort, where items and weapons made of crystal are sold to various people. I particularly notice an Amazon-like woman purchasing a large crystal sword. Shortly, the dream ends.
So, as we can see, this episode shows a somewhat common dream phenomenon for me, which is one dream leading into the other. A kind of sequential pattern of dreams throughout the same night, each with interconnected, although different themes. Like a series of movies or a series of books, like a trilogy. So, you might ask me, what does this mean? This is some pretty trippy stuff you're seeing out here. Rifts opening up in the sky, leading to some alternate dimension covered in enormous crystals, crystalline monsters. This whole big drama involving that playing itself out. You might look at this background here, and you might ask me, am I some kind of crystal magic fanatic? Am I some sort of wizard who utilizes this stuff all the time? Actually, no. I like crystals. They're fun and they're pretty. I feel likely, yeah, they do have some kind of subtle energetic properties. That said, I don't super resonate with crystals. I don't use them all the time. I'm not one of these people that knows the property of every crystal out there, or tries to do constant healings involving them. In fact, a lot of that stuff behind me right now, this is a healing room in my house that a friend of mine set up for her own healing that she does out of this home occasionally. Not my stuff, though I figured it's a pretty place to film one of these episodes. So what is the deal? Why was I dreaming about this kind of stuff? Well, let's look at some of the possible symbolism here first off. This entire series of dreams takes place in the house. And as we discussed in previous episodes, I usually like to see the house as representative of the mind. Mainly, I'm on the upper floor of the house, representing either the subconscious or maybe even approaching the superconscious aspects of my mind. You know, kind of with a view on the higher realms. I'm looking up into that skylight, up into the sky. Maybe you could see this as me looking through my third eye and glimpsing my higher self, or heavenly aspect. This rift opens up, revealing a crystalline realm. Crystals themselves could either be said to represent things of great value or treasures within the subconscious realms, or themselves being a type of device to transmit knowledge or some kind of spiritual information, glimpsing an entire realm of crystals. Well, I might want to liken that to looking into the realms of the holy, the divine, or if you're one of those atheists, just a bigger part of ourselves that we don't normally access. If I were to say there's a theme to this dream, it's a theme of dealing with the unknown and the holy, the greater part of myself. Ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else, you know probably that by watching these videos, I'm a spiritual seeker. I like to meditate. I like to study books on spiritual matters. I especially like to explore my dreams, and I'm interested in anything that will take me closer to what you might call the divine, whatever that means to you. I admit, I haven't really been a person of what you might call faith. I haven't just placed any blind belief in the words of other people that want to tell me about God or tell me about who I really am. I've been seeking to experience these things myself. And just the other day, right before this dream, I had an interesting conversation with some people at a barbecue, some people that are more of the traditional Christian mindset, and we were discussing various theological issues or ideas on how you really know that anything is true. And even before that, one of the things I've been seeking is a true faith. Not a faith based on the words of some other person or the words of some book, but a faith that's based on knowing my true connection to God or my higher self or whatever you want to dub it. That's what I've been seeking, to truly have that unshakable, indomitable faith. Yes, in myself. In myself as an expression of God. And into true God as, well, a different aspect of me. I've been looking for that faith. So I feel that this dream might be about that. It might be about the different stages of experience and in the different ways we could look at this mysterious, divine, and holy thing. First off, we could look at it in a skeptical way. As we saw in the dream, after I observed this crystalline realm and even take pictures of it, there's still those skeptics, those scientific materialists who want to deny it because it doesn't fall into their little narrow view of reality. One way of looking at this powerful and mysterious higher force of existence is to say, nah, that's not there. That's the first example of denial. Next, we see this child, or you could say a immature, still growing part of me that's falling deep into this realm of the crystal beings. And we see that they're hostile in a way. Maybe there's immature aspects in myself, or in all of us, that when confronted with a higher reality, with the true greatness of what we really are or what we could become, when confronted with our destinies, they're afraid. So another way that a lot of people, maybe even myself in some ways, would deal with this true powerful sense of the divine and the otherworldly is to try to get out of it. To try to feel like, no, that's overwhelming in life. That's not something I want to deal with. It's not comfortable. It's scary. It's messed up. Do I do that consciously? No. No, but we all have aspects of ourselves buried deep within that maybe ain't so cool with what we like consciously. And it's dreams like this that can help us to see that, and that by working with them we could transmute and be reconciled with. And then, in the third dream, we see a final way of dealing with this divine realm, the spiritual way. Now, in that dream, it's vaguely presented that the people take on either a Taoist or a pagan belief system in order to deal with this, but it was kind of vague in the dream. And so I think it just suggests that the right way is to take a calm, spiritual approach in dealing with these things, to honor them respectfully, but not fanatically. And to set up a shrine in that higher part of our mind, to kind of treat that part of ourselves as holy. And thus, we invite in something that before might have been scary, that before might have felt a bit overwhelming and even creepy. And we realize that in fact it's beneficial. The crystal monster that before had been plaguing that inner child is turned into a friend. More so, it creates this shop. Now, those of you who haven't played so many video games or pen and paper RPGs, I know the way this shop was presented to me was like you'd be in a video game, like you're playing an RPG and you go into the shop where the merchant is selling you various swords and shields and armors in order to upgrade your gear and make your stats better so you could continue on your adventure and start kicking some more monster butts. That's kind of what this shop is presented. These crystal items everywhere, this immense crystalline blade that looks really cool, and that this Amazon woman picks up and buys. If she's symbolic of anything, it's a kind of a feminine, receptive strength within that takes up this sword that's symbolic of an item to create change within the self. Because a sword is an instrument of killing, and killing in a dream is a symbol of change. So basically, we could look at this higher divine realm that some might refer to as the superconscious or the higher self. We could look at it and say, no, that's not there. That's not part of my reality. We could look at it and say, wow, that's messed up stuff. That's way above me and it creeps me out. Or we could approach it with humbleness, yet confidence, with a spiritual mindset, to honor it, to allow it in, become a part of our lives. That's where I'd like to say I'm going. And who knows, maybe some of you might want to go there as well. And you know, I didn't know I wanted to share this dream until I had it. It was, I was planning on having another dream on Dream of the Week, but then suddenly this one pops up right before I'm going to start recording them, and I decided to do an episode on it, because it felt really powerful and really profound. So there you have it, my good friends. Dream of the Week, Episode 7. Anyway, if you guys don't know me, my name is Alexander, and this is brought to you by Dreamwalker Memoirs. Stay tuned next week for another episode of this ongoing series. Goodbye, my friends.